Scorpio, Sun, Moon and Rising, welcome to Ethernal Realms. We will see what your March looks like. First, I will talk about the astrology a little bit because there's a lot going on and it's better to know it than to not, right? So after that, we will talk about the cards. Okay, so the first thing that's taking place is Mercury, the planet of mind, intellect and reasoning, is going to move into Pisces on the 2nd of the month, and it will very quickly move into Aries on the 19th of the month. So in the first half, basically what we will experience is a rise in intuition, imagination, and because it's a fellow water sign, you will be experiencing it quite favorably. So, look for intuitive nudges. If something does not feel right, it's best to not push it too much because there will be certain guidance that comes in or more clarity that is being developed as we go through the month. Also, in a more shadowy aspect, this can kind of develop as if, there's miscommunication or like missed communication. I would say that, like, we just forget to mention something to someone and it could be an important piece of the puzzle, or it gives, a little bit of a more wholesome picture to someone else. So if you're trying to make an application, you might, it's best to say it more emphatically rather than play it very cool and aloof. But of course, with Pisces, there is that side of the story that we might underplay certain things or we might forget certain things, and so on. Also, like when we're doing very rigorous documentation process and so on, it might not be the best time to do that. But once again, like I said, your intuition is king at this time. If it says this is the right thing, then don't hesitate either. Okay, so listen to that personal intuition for your scenario. But optimally, around this time, this is an opportunity for us to take rest, give our minds a little bit of a break, and kind of absorb all the things that we have learned in the recent past or the thoughts and processes that have taken place already. We're kind of letting that simmer, or, we're letting that play out as it should. There is a harmonious vibe to this. But on the 19th onwards, it gives us a lot of boost to continue forward, take initiative, take action on things that we know are right because we've thought about it. We have enough information around this time from external sources, from our intuition and so on, that when Mercury moves into Aries, we're taking forward action. We're like, I know what to do, let's just do it. There's no point in dilly-dallying, there's no point in, playing the waiting game, basically. Let's just go for something that we are interested in. Okay, now on the 7th, we have a full moon in Virgo. This one is going to highlight certain routine difficulties or restructuring that might need to be done based on our lifestyles. And in your case, Virgo is in the 11th house, so it can be the type of people that you connect with, the friends that you have. You might they could be going through some type of change in their lives as well that comes to light around this time. But overall, it just brings in a lot of clarity and completion in that area of life. Also, it can be that your hopes and dreams and aspirations, all connected with the 11th house, is going to become a lot more clear, or you find a new direction that gives you that sense of hope and boost that, you can continue in that particular direction. Or if any adjustments need to be made, then that is as well clear and there is no gray area around this time. Same day, we have Saturn moving into Pisces, which is a big deal because it will stay here for 3 years. And the previous 3 years, it was in Aquarius, where we had restrictions in, freedom of speech, freedom of being, and what humanity means to one another, creating, structures unnecessarily and then trying to break it down. People protesting. Aquarius is about the globe, the humanity, all of it. So people banding together and so on. Now Saturn moves into Pisces, so it becomes more about creating structures where there was none. Okay, for example, sure, I have hobbies, but I get to them when I get to them. There's no pressure, there's no such time, and no strict routines as such. That would be pre-Saturn era, basically. And now that it's coming in here, Saturn wants to say, okay, do you like your hobbies? Do you like to self-express? If yes, then we gotta commit to it. We have to have some sort of structure because it brings us joy, and we need to make time for what is joyful to us. Okay, so yeah, that can happen here. We might get a lot serious. For you, it's in the 5th house, so it could be more serious about, children, about a self-expression, creativity, and also romantic life. We might not want shallow relationships anymore. If you're looking for new love, you're very clear on what is it you're looking for, and your dating life might, get down to the serious parts, kind of talk about the difficult things either early on, get things very clear so that there is no wasting of anybody's time, things like that. But yes, it's going to stay here for 3 years. There are different topics that will come up at different times that we will go through. Now in the 3rd week, there's a lot of aspects forming between planets. So I will not talk about all of them, otherwise we're going to be here forever. But I will post them on my community page. So if you're interested, subscribe, hit the bell, and you will be notified whenever it's up. But I will mention that on the 16th, we have Venus, the planet of love, beauty, abundance, and harmony, moving into Taurus, which is a very nice movement here. That would be in your 7th house. There is a very good chance of meeting someone that you can have a long-term partnership with. If you already have someone, then this can indicate that you are able to bond with each other on an equal footing, and you share a lot in common at this time. You have more chances to date and kind of expand on your relationship. Also, this does not have to apply only to romantic relationships, but also business partnerships. There could be, more money flowing in through this business collaboration, and also your one-to-one friendships are going to fall into this category. It can be that they are getting a promotion or something of that sort, and you're feeling very happy for them. Even in a partnership sense, it can be that your partner is getting more money, there's some bonus coming through, or they're having a rise in self-worth. For those who are looking for new love, Venus in this sign can be, you're attracting someone very attractive, very kind of has a keen eye of aesthetics of sort, or is a natural homemaker, is very stable, reliable, things like that. Okay, now on the 20th or the 21st, depending on where you live, the sun is going to move into Aries, and we also have a new moon in Aries, which is a very, very brand new beginning, astrologically speaking, and also the moon being new indicates that there's a lot of potential, and Aries is about taking new initiative, being the first of something, pioneering something, being the leader of your life, those sort of qualities. So it's a very strong boost that is going to encourage your money sphere and your career sphere most importantly. And yes, you might be filled with new gusto to take some steps in that direction, to kind of expand it more or branch out in a new direction that is more fulfilling for you. Then on the 23rd, Pluto is moving into Aquarius. Once again, big deal. It will be staying here for 20 years, starting from 2024, but in this year it dips into the zodiac and goes back into Capricorn, just to give us a little bit of a taste, bit of a trailer of what's to come. So it might be that we get a sort of syllabus, so to say, of what might be coming through, what feelings we have to deal with, what topics we are encountering, and so on. So there can be some breakthroughs in your home and family department. There could be a lot of clarity that comes in from your private self. Your intuition is feeling more heightened as well. It can also be that there is some disturbed sleep. If that is the case, it's showing up because either there are some subconscious things that we have to deal with, or it's because we have to fix our sleep patterns in some way. Okay, that's a more mundane way that it can show up. But yeah, there are definitely some changes in this front. When Saturn was here in this 4th house, it could have been that you were struggling to find a house or struggling to connect with family members in some way. But with Pluto coming in, the planet of purging and transformation is creating a breakthrough. It is your ruler, so it is going to impact you quite deeply over here. The only thing that I'm like a little bit questioning is because it's at a contentious relationship with your rising sign, if we are going by the rising sign. So I'm not really sure how it plays out, and I'm a Scorpio too, and I'm just gonna have to see how that goes, and I guess I'll update you along the way. Okay, then on the 25th we have Mars moving into Cancer. I guess it would work out okay for you, but Mars is not really happy in Cancer. Because it's like a fiery planet in a watery sign. So it might bring up a bubbling of suppressed emotions. But if you are a Scorpio who understands your inner depths and you're not afraid of the shadows and does your work and, it does not like secrets and things like that, if you're openly curious and comfortable with your emotions, then you won't experience that side of things. But if you do, it might suggest that there are certain unfinished business in our emotional side of things that is trying to come out for resolution. Apart from that, it can be that you're looking for long distance travels or long-term commitments in terms of life. You're looking at the bigger picture. Okay. What else can I see with this? I would say that there is a connection with divinity as well that might be coming through around this time. Okay, so I'm really curious about how it plays out for Scorpio exactly. For the other zodiacs, I had a bit more intuition about this one, but I'm really curious. It can go either way because it's a ruling planet, that's nice, and Cancer being a fellow water sign, that's also nice. So it's likely that it would actually work out nicely, even if it might seem like a curveball initially, it actually works out favorably. That's what I'm getting so far. Now in the last week as well, we have certain aspects going on between planets, which I will not get into, but I will be posting in my community page. So like I said, if you're interested, you can check it out. So Scorpios, your major theme of the month is waning gibbous moon with express. Yes, we did talk about that self-expression. I guess the Saturn transiting is going to be a major part of this month. Given that it's taking place in the first week itself of the month, it is going to play out for quite some time, right? It's going to have a chance to develop throughout the month. So yes, we are going to be looking at how to express ourselves effectively in a way that makes us happy and gets our point across in a way. Okay, now first major thing, we have gavel with involvement with the law. Okay, signing contracts, or if you already have legal procedures going on, this could be a continuation of that. Second, we have problems to be resolved. Yeah, okay. This looks like some finishing touches, anything that has not been dealt with, whether it's internal or external situations, that is going to be resolved through this month, and you might be actively involved in that process. And we have diamond, which says you'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. Okay. Given that we have the 7th house Venus, it can be that you're getting a gift from someone else that you are very close to. Or if the other person is kind of celebrating an occasion or something, then you might be the one giving the gift. But either way, I feel as though it's not really about one side or the other. It would be, for example, you're giving a gift to someone that you care so much about that their happiness by receiving your gift is the gift to you, right? So there is an equal give and take somehow, even if material exchange is not really equal, let's say. But yes, there's something nice going on here. Let's see your tarot cards, get more details. We have the 6 of Cups. Yeah, I feel like the past makes sense. That's the first thing I hear when I see that. And because it makes sense, there is resolution and inner peace. There's more harmony that is building throughout the month. It can be that you go to some place, you're traveling someplace or meeting some people with whom you have fond memories with. And you could be going to a previous place where you have created a lot of memories as well. This can also talk about you looking at the past, taking the lessons and understanding how you can build a better future, because we do have that full moon in your future aspirations. How's going on there? So yeah, there's definitely a lot of learning, but it's in a very soothing or in a fond way. Okay, I'm glad that happened because I learned this and now I can do so and so things, something of that sort. Okay, then we have the Lovers. Wow, okay, so a really good month to meet someone new, or if you are still connected or wanting to reconnect with your ex, this would be a nice combination of cards really, that you're reconnecting with them and forming a very close bond once more, if that's something you want. If you leave the past in the past, this can indicate that you've learned what you needed to learn from previous experiences and now you're ready for a completely fresh start. And whoever you meet or are continuing the relationship with is very likely a soulmate, okay? So you learn a lot from one another. You're not the same people. You actually balance each other out, and that's what makes both of you individually very wholesome. So that's how you can identify if someone's a soulmate. Then we have 8 of Wands. This can indicate travel and a lot of communication. Perhaps there's a lot of correspondence going on in this month. Like I said, documents, signing, phone calls, emails, messaging, meeting people, arranging appointments, and so on. It's just very fast moving overall. We have 2 sixes going on, which is a very nice combination for any type of harmony you want to create. So look at the difficult bits in your life, whichever problems need to be resolved. This looks as if there is quick resolution of things that have been long drawn from the past, and that resolution brings you plenty of peace. Then we have the 2 of Swords. Yeah, like I said, your intuition is going to be very, very king in this particular month. And we have the Fool. Wow, we always love this, isn't it? It feels like a brand new beginning, and there is a lot of hope and faith, so much optimism that whatever the future holds, it's only good, because the Fool kind of relies on the universal forces to be on his side, and because he has such true faith, he, she, it, whatever, has such true faith that the universe can't help but, be there. It's sort of like the law of attraction. If you're thinking that, this might not work out, let's be pessimistic, or whatever the case is, then that's what, is inevitably manifested in some form or the other. Meanwhile, the Fool is like, let me just go for it with optimism. I've not tried that, so let's try optimism and see how it works out. The Lovers is also a very, very excellent card, along with the 8 of Wands, of manifestations coming to a reality. Okay? 2 of Swords can also indicate that there are some times where you don't really know how things might pan out. There can be some vagueness in the first half of the month, but like I said, everything else is just looking very wonderful. So there is a positive resolution at the end, and by the time the month is over, you're ready for a fresh new start. You're actually embarking on a whole new journey, and you're feeling very good about all of this. And whenever you feel a little bit stuck in any situation, the 2 of Swords says, just listen to your intuition. Because the stalemate energy that this card symbolizes is usually when we're fighting logic with logic and words with words. Both sides might make sense, and everything might seem the same. For example, if you're not comfortable with legal jargon, then it can be like all the words seem the same to me. I'm not really sure what to do about that. But once again, listen to the intuition of who you can consult, who can you ask help from, because there is help. We have Venus in the house of other people, right? So other people will be able to help you out. So reach out, don't be afraid. It's someone you might know from the past as well, can be very useful. Perhaps some friends have certain contacts that can be very useful as well. So you don't have to struggle with it by yourself if you're not able to discern it for yourself. If you need like logical and practical help, then I think other people are going to be the best bet. But if it's a decision that you alone have to make, then it's your intuition that is going to guide you, basically. But ultimately, the path you are choosing is one of harmony and optimism. Okay. What else? Yeah, some short distance trips can also be possible, or you're planning for some long-term travels already with some people, or you're going to meet certain people at some point. Yeah. Busy month, but also harmonious at the same time. It's a good kind of busy, I feel. All right, then we have Fill Your Cup with Sacred Giggles. I really love this card. It relates to the Magician, 3 of Cups, and the 3 of Pentacles, which indicates there is a cooperative and good flowing energy where you're having a nice time, you're also getting some work done, you have people who are supporting you, you also are very skilled, you have faith in yourself, you're taking action on things that you think are bringing you joy and are good for your prosperity in general. Okay, so there's no losing with this card, and all the while it's important to just do things for fun. If something is just a drag, then you're less likely to put in your best foot forward, right? So for the things that you actually want in your life, put your best foot forward. Do everything that makes you feel, glad and happy and fulfilled in general, because that's what creates these manifestations. Instead of focusing on things that you don't want or don't like, focus on the things that you do, right? That is not only going to make you feel more optimistic, but also fuels you up with more gratitude and attracts the things that you want to attract even faster, okay? Then, yes, lovely. We have Bliss is Worth Creating From. Is exactly what I was talking about. Do what makes you feel happy. And soak in that happiness, okay? Don't undersell that happy feeling you get, because it's extremely powerful. At least in this month, okay, from the cards I see here. I know that it's always powerful, but it might be hard to keep up with it under certain circumstances, but this month is really allowing you that freedom, and I think you're taking matters into your own hands, sort of, and that kind of empowers you too. Okay, whether that is in a relationship sense or a career sense, you're taking matters into your own hands and you're resolving whatever needs to be resolved. Even if there are some serious cards going on in the highlights, I don't see you taking it so seriously. You know it's serious, and there are some major choices that you might be making in this month. But like I said, you're following your joy. If it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel right. End of story. Like, we can't somehow like something, right? Yes, now the Two of Swords and the Lovers does talk about needing to make a choice, but not really clear how you would go about doing it. And once again, we're at a stalemate because we're using our logic too much. It's important to have logic for sure, and also take into account the practicality of certain things. But we also need to leverage the things we desire a lot more, because if we like something, we're more likely to put in effort and time, and also keep on improving on those things just because we like it. That's it, right? Just because. That's exactly what is going to win if we're talking about winning. Okay, then we have dark energy. I love this. And we have X-rays. This is literally seeing beyond what is immediately visible. Okay, seeing beyond the paperwork, seeing beyond the literal words, understanding intentions, and going by intuition. That's essentially what X-rays talks about. That's what we've covered already, so I'm not going to repeat over here. But yes, if I would trust any zodiac to be able to do this, it would be you, because whether it is a person where you have to kind of discern from their behavior what their true intentions are, or in a legal sense, you have to understand beyond the legal jargon about where is this conversation going, or how might the battle, let's say, work out. The X-rays are going to be, the intuition basically is going to be a very good assessment. So understanding body language, for example, or if you have just a very innate sense of psychology, then using that as well can be useful in this sense. So you don't have literal proof perhaps, but you have a very strong feeling that can't be denied. Now, the dark energy is all about potential, okay? You have all of space to make anything happen. It's space. It's potential. Now it's up to you. Same goes with the Fool. You're leaping into the unknown. The unknown is where you have infinite discovery, infinite experience, right? And that's what the Fool is going for. I'm going for experience. Whatever happens, I learn something, I gain something. I gather something very, very monumental for myself. That's this dark energy. It's so prevalent. It's literally everywhere, right? That you can make anything out of that. I feel like you're working with this infinite concept. Let's say you're working with this infinite concept that anything can happen. Literally. And in this month, I think you are in that vibe that anything can happen. So what can I make something out of this? Anything can happen. If anything can happen, what do I want to be attracting in my life? It's sort of giving you a free canvas of free will. I think you're really getting into that in this month. Being mindful of your words. Perhaps you're practicing some scripting, for example, or reciting some affirmations, kind of releasing blocks, releasing resistances, bringing yourself in harmony with the universe, recognizing your own unique sense. The Fool is also tapping into that inner child energy and doing things just for the heck of it, just to enjoy, And also with the Six of Cups is reverting to your childlike self, not in a creepy way, but responding to the hobbies you had, or just capturing that, let's just play in life. That type of vibe is coming through. Let's just play and have fun. Because when we're doing that, we can keep on doing that, right? Like, children don't want to stop playing, right? yeah, it's giving me a really nice vibe. And I think people are very supportive around you as well. Very encouraging overall. Also, yes, with the Lovers and Eight of Wands, you might see a lot of signs and synchronicities. Something you've been talking about, thinking about, just shows up in some other source, or you've been wanting to learn a certain thing, and then you get clarity right the next day. It can also be that you're seeing 666 or some other number combination that signifies something special for you. Certain birds you might see, or people calling you out of nowhere. Things like that. Yeah, there can be some synchronicities along the way. It usually happens whenever we are on the brink of making a major decision. It's just that because we're so wrapped up in that situation, we might miss the signs, but they're definitely there. Okay, so let's see our astro dice for Scorpios, please, the month of March. Venus, Aquarius in the 4th house. Oh, that's amazing. Yes, you're finding a lot of peace within yourself, with your feminine figures in your family as well. Your home life is going to improve. Also, there is some protection and blessings that are taking place here. You might see some positive dreams, so the synchronicities might also take place in your dream life. There can be some clarity that comes in through the home and family situation or about it. There can be some gifts or bonuses that come in from the family and home environment too. Apart from that, yes, Aquarius corresponds with what you can contribute to humanity. Okay? I feel like you might feel a lot more comfortable with the world at large from this month on. Because you're very comfortable in yourself, you're respecting yourself, you're loving yourself and honoring your own pace of things. And because you feel that so deeply, you're comfortable with just about anything, the world at large. You're confident everywhere. You can showcase yourself in a very pleasing manner. You're already very magnetic. So this Aquarian energy just adds that little bit more of a cerebral nature to things, where your communication might be important, or the things that you think are very profound, or it might be beneficial to people who are closest to you, or it might just be beneficial for you. Aquarius corresponds with epiphanies too, so Two of Swords, all of these can be just a sudden realization that just clears everything, and it happens in a very soothing manner. So it's easy for you to grasp the concept. For example, if you're naturally pessimistic, then switching immediately to optimism, it's going to require a huge epiphany. But over here, it feels like a more soothing process where we just learn and understand and learn and understand, such that we make a permanent change in the way that we see the world as a whole. And it also boosts you up to make positive affirmations for your future goals. And I think when you look to your future self, you're more optimistic than you usually are. Okay, so yes, that's what I have for you, Scorpios. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope the reading resonated and that it helps you out. Let me know your thoughts, and if you want a personal reading, you can reach me via Etsy. The link is in the description box in the comment below. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye.